think he would have done better than Skull?
1,000%, without a doubt. I would have beat Canelo. This is what I've been saying. He's over the hill.
Why do you think he's fighting against Crawford?
Guys, one at a time. Lance, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, can you talk about this fight versus the Canelo Crawford fight? Do you think it'll be more entertaining?
Oh, for sure. I mean, obviously Crawford's a great fighter, Canelo's a great fighter, but I just think that this has more hype around it. And, you know, we just saw them come off with some boring ass fights, and they're probably just gonna sit there and dance for 12 rounds.
Can you talk?
No. I don't think Jake Paul was lying. I mean, you could debate it whether Canelo Alvarez is over the hill. And I don't think that Canelo Alvarez is over the hill. I may say that Canelo Alvarez is in the back end of his prime. Power has decreased. Little bit of declining. But I still believe that Canelo Alvarez is still the best 168-pounder in the sport of boxing. I still believe that Canelo Alvarez is an elite. And probably Canelo Alvarez was saving himself versus William Scull. But I told y'all that the fight with Jake Paul would have been more exciting. It would have created the buzz. It would have created the buzz. And to be honest, Jake Paul would have fought at least Canelo Alvarez, not run around like William Scull. And if Canelo Alvarez would have fought, Jake Paul would have put back the respect in the real boxers. You know what I'm saying? What he did to Mike Tyson, old Mike Tyson, 58 years old, out there in Dallas, Texas, right? Canelo Alvarez would have been fighting for the fighters and the perception of he's gonna put an end to it. And people would have got to know outside of the sport of boxing. More people would have got introduced to Canelo Alvarez, and then bringing that new fan base with Canelo Alvarez going into the fight with Terrence Bud Crawford later on this year. So I don't know if the Canelo Alvarez versus William Scull was trying to save himself. I do believe that he was trying to save himself, trying to save the bag, just like Devin Haney was trying to save the bag. Well, Jose Ramirez, just like Ryan Garcia, couldn't find the killer instinct to save the bag to fight Devin Haney later on this year. Just like Terrence Bud Crawford is not even fighting nobody in the interim in between or nothing because he's trying to sit on ice so he could save the bag so he won't have to perform the way that he did versus Madrimov. But Jake Paul had a point. This fight with Terrence Bud Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, what do you expect from me? Let's be real, let's be honest. If Canelo Alvarez haven't stopped anybody, right, since Plant, right? He didn't stop Dimitri Bivol. He didn't stop Triple G, the old man in the trilogy. He didn't stop John Ryder. He didn't stop Jamel Charlo. He didn't stop Jaime Munguia. He didn't stop Edgar Berlanga. He didn't stop William Scull. If Bud Crawford would take a page out of what Jamel Charlo did, what William Scull did, what Edgar Berlanga did, footwork-wise, you know what I'm saying? Trying to avoid the knockout. If all these guys could avoid the knockout, Bud Crawford, I believe, is smart enough to avoid the knockout. Maybe not the knockdown, but I believe that he's smart enough to avoid the knockdown. Jaime Munguia, avoid the knockout. So I believe that Terrence Bud Crawford could avoid the knockout. That's number one. Is Canelo Alvarez going to go out there and truly try to end this guy? Does Canelo Alvarez have the killer instinct? Or does Canelo Alvarez, when he figured he's not going to knock this guy out, he cruise? See, I believe that Terrence Bud Crawford could survive. Unless if Terrence Bud Crawford does what a lot of people feel like he's not going to do, you know, fight on the back foot like Jamel Charlo, run like William Scull. You know what I'm saying? I just feel that Bud Crawford could survive, and I don't know if Canelo Alvarez may have still the elite skills, but he have the elite hunger. The elite hunger. So when he said that these guys is gonna be boring for 12 rounds, look at Bud Crawford, how he did with Madrimov. That wasn't an exciting fight. And and Bud Crawford was fighting a 10-0 guy in Madrimov that never been a world champion, never fought a world champion, never been in that elite level, and now he's jumping 2 classes up. Bud Crawford, look, one thing that we for sure is that Bud Crawford and Canelo Alvarez truly didn't want to fight each other, didn't look to fight one another. You could go back to several interviews with Bud Crawford several years ago, and he ain't see himself fighting Canelo Alvarez. He even indicated, I'm a 147-pounder. You know, Canelo Alvarez is campaigning at 175, 168. It doesn't make sense. That's never going to happen. Canelo Alvarez already said that in several interviews that he wouldn't even get credit by beating Bud Crawford because he didn't even get credit by being the undisputed Iron Man Charlo at 154 undisputed that moved up 2 divisions up. He ain't get no credit for it. They're gonna play it safe, and they're gonna get the money. This fight, mark my words. Whoever, I got Canelo Alvarez winning. But I also believe that it could go the way that Jake Paul is saying. I do believe, look, the fight of the century. What was the fight of the century, ladies and gentlemen? Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather. How did that fight turn out? How many bloody noses it was? How many black eyes it was? Man, they took the money. And guess what? Bud Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, they know they only fighting each other for the money. Truly for the money. They don't believe there's a good matchup. But Crawford is he's not that dumb to decline that type of offer. And Canelo Alvarez, like, really? You going to give me this to fight William Scull? And then give me this to fight a welterweight? This fight is all hype. It's a masterful mismatch. If Bud Crawford comes to fight, he's going to get knocked the F out by Canelo Alvarez. If he comes to fight. If he does use the footwork, I think the Canelo Alvarez is going to be like, you know what? I'm going to win 116, 112, easy and stuff like that. I'm not even going to chase you around. You know, let's get this back from Turkey. I think it's going to be a boring fight. I don't think nobody's going to truly take the risk like that, in my opinion. No. Maybe if there is some type of animosity. See, think about it. There was no true animosity with Triple G and Canelo Alvarez in the trilogy. It wasn't true animosity and stuff like that. Canelo Alvarez didn't even want that fight, truthfully, but there was money on the table. There was not animosity with John Ryder. Jermell Charlo and Canelo Alvarez never went back and forth. William Scull, there was nothing there. Edgar Berlanga, there was something, but you see that he dropped him, right? He dropped Jaime Munguia. There was nothing there. And Bud Crawford's not going to disrespect Canelo Alvarez. See, the guy that disrespected Canelo Alvarez, truthfully, was Caleb Plant. And Caleb Plant got the beat down because there was a disrespect. There was a disrespect with Billy Joe Saunders and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? In the contract with the rings and stuff like that. But maybe Bud Crawford, maybe you want to see the best Canelo Alvarez, there's got to be some truly genuine disrespect. But Bud Crawford's not going to do that. There's going to be a boring-ass fight. And I agree 95% of what Jake Paul was saying. The other one is about if he's over the hill. I don't know that. But we could honestly say Canelo Alvarez is not the same.
About how Zerno was at the card, was it you saying, I want him because I want a title fight?
Yeah, I mean, it was a collaboration with Oscar De La Hoya and our ideas of lining up future opponents to become world champion.
Jay, can we get a knockout?
Say it again?
Can you get a knockout?
Oh, for sure. It's been too long. I think it can be less than 3 rounds.
How's your relationship with Oscar?
Oscar's great, man. He's great to work with, and he's always supported me and been there since day one, and he's an awesome guy.
We're going to get a few from the DMV over here.
How you doing, man? Listen, we talked to Chavez previously, and he says this fight he looks forward to getting revenge for Mike Tyson for what you did to him. I know you and Tyson actually go way back. What's your thoughts on that? Him saying he get revenge for Tyson?
Yeah, whatever he needs to motivate himself and whatever he dreams he has in his head, but he's not going to beat me, so he's just going to be another legend that I'm going to beat and embarrass.
You always have big defensive fights, Have you sent any invites to the president?
Oh, not currently.
Who do you want? Who do you want to see there?
Man, we'll see. It's LA, so I think a lot of people will show up.
Listen, Boris Jack basically said he'll offer you a title shot. That's fast. I know you said. I heard you say earlier. You can see it happening in a couple of years. What do you really think about that? When I know you're looking forward to this fight, but like when you hear something like that, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I'm super interested. I had Nikisa contact his team behind the scenes, so those discussions are happening.
And you look at him and you think you can take him?
For sure.
Question for Holly?
Yes, Jake, what do you think of Holly?
Question for Holly. Oh, there
yeah,
you go.
Jake, what do you think of Holly knocking out Ronda Rousey? Have you ever seen a better knockout than that?
Insane. One of the most legendary knockouts of all time. Now she's coming back to regain her belt in boxing and the greatest dual sport athlete of all time above Deion Sanders.
She's a Hall of Famer already.
For sure.
No, she is. She's in.
Yeah.
How many more for Holly? You need to be ready for a title.
I don't think I need too many. one, maybe 2 fights and fight for a title. I know I'm still ready to rock and roll. So
Our plan is to give Holly a title opportunity as soon as possible.
How many more years of fighting you got left in you?
honestly, I got a year or 2 left.
What current champion do you have your eyes on, Holly?
What champion?
What current champion would you like to fight
You
in your
know,
dream match?
in boxing I fought at 40, 47, 54. At MMA, my majority of my career was at 35. I never got to box at 35, so when I come back to 35 and
All the
I would
names
love
in the
to-
35 division
yeah.
are on her radar, for
Taylor
sure.
and Serrano, all the names are in that weight class, so I got my eyes on the prize.
Who wins the
What are
third
your
fight?
thoughts on Taylor Serrano 3?
Oh, I'm excited to watch it. Their fights are, I mean, those 2 girls, they always show up. They fight with heart. You know, they train hard. They go hard. I know it's going to be another entertaining fight, and I'm excited for it.
What does
ESPN
Amanda
LA,
need to
go,
do
go,
to
go.
finally get a
ESPN,
win?
go ahead.
ESPN.